What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. Alright, so what we got going on today? We're about to get into some more Japanese history and culture with my new favorite teacher, Shogo Sensei. This one, well, I decided to go and see what his most popular video was, and it's this one. What are the differences between ninja and shinobi? Very interesting topic because in TV shows, movies, and anime, the two seem like there's no difference at all, and they're just thrown right next to each other. You know, especially with stuff like Naruto. You hear them say my ninja way, then the shinobi way, and then there's back and forth and everything. And then but not just them, just about every piece of media that has ninjas in it, I've seen them use both terms. So modern day they seem synonymous, but they're two different words, so obviously they have to have at least two slightly different origins, right? So let's get into it. The difference between ninja and shinobi. All right, let's do this. Where did I put my headphones? Right here. Okay, Shogo Sensei, you got the floor. Let's go.
But we are not talking about just these two names. There are actually many different ways to refer to a ninja.
Okay.
皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. Ninja-related manga and anime are very popular and famous.
He's always throwing stuff up like way too fast sometimes. Okay, let me see. Oh, his profile. Previous jobs. Okay.
Shogo. Ninja-related...
Oh, I forgot. This is like a really old one. So, yeah, this is him just letting people know who he is and everything. Okay, I get it.
Manga and anime are very popular and famous. I am a big fan of Naruto myself. But in these stories, they sometimes call themselves shinobi as well. How are ninjas and shinobi different? So today, I will briefly introduce the history of ninjas, and then talk about the differences between ninja and shinobi. At the end of this video, I will talk a little bit about the woman ninjas, kunoichi, as well. However, please understand that there are many studies and theories about ninjas, and some of them suggest the complete opposite of what I'm going to be introducing today.
That's very true. I think the biggest issue is that, like, from what I know about ninjas and everything, there were just too many of them. What I mean by that is, like, there were so many different clans, and it wasn't like there was this huge ninja network. They were all independent clans and stuff. From what I've read, so it's like if you research the history that one ninja clan may have left behind and what resources they have, it's not gonna completely line up to another ninja clan's history and everything, because they may have operated similarly in most cases, but they'll have differences and nuances between one clan and the next. Which is how we get all these animes and stuff with these different ninja clans, and their powers will vary greatly between like different villages and stuff, and you know, stuff like that. So,
you know about other theories, or if there's anything I've left out, please share with me.
Kind of makes it hard to really nail down and everything on them, like what a ninja is. Like we know what a ninja is and everything, but it's like you can't say what a ninja wouldn't do because there's so much that they did and so much that one clan did that another one did and things like that. So it gets pretty complex and a lot of nuances.
俺はお前をずっと愛している. Then first, let's briefly understand the history of ninjas in order to talk about today's main topic.
Okay.
There are so many anime, manga, and video games about them. But who were they really? What did they do? And since when have they existed? Let's break this down into 5 turning points. 1. The villains fighting against landowners. 2. Hired as mercenaries in the Civil War era. 3. Worked for the Edo shogunate. 4. After westernization. 5. Ninjas as a virtual image.
Oh, okay. He's gonna bring it all the way up to
Number
today.
1. The villains fighting against landowners. There are actually too many different theories about the origins of ninjas and their skills, but historical records show the existence of ninjas from after the Muromachi era. there was a group of people who were unsatisfied with the control of the manorial system at that time. This was a system where once a person reclaimed a piece of land, that land will forever be that family's property. Which means that the rich will always be rich, and the poor will forever be poor. Because these so-called villains were people in a weak position and could not fight with armed samurais face to face, they developed tactics like surprise attacks and arson to fight.
So by that theory, they're not villains, they were rebels, revolutionaries. They were over here like, no, this ain't fair, which it isn't. It's not smart economically either.
Position and could not fight with armed samurais face to face. They developed tactics like surprise attacks and arson to fight. Some of the members were involved in Shugendo, a religion peculiar to Japan that aims to gain enlightenment through vigorous training in the mountains. This is how the ninjas and their skills were born.
Okay, so according to that theory, we get a religion focused around training and introduce that to a people who are pissed off and want to get up and start some trouble, make some noise. What you get at the end of that? We get the ninja, according to this theory.
Number 2. Hired as mercenaries in the Civil War era. Coming into the Civil War era, these skilled groups of people were hired by warlords as mercenaries. Their tactics focus on attacks during nighttime by sneaking into the enemy's territory and setting on fires.
Okay, so basically the timeline goes after, becoming proper rebels and fighting against, because I'm not going to call them villains, I'm gonna call them rebels, that's what they were. But they end that, they become rebels, but because of their skills, they get recognized, and once war happens, you know what happens when war happens, war costs money, resources, you need soldiers, you need people out there to fight, so yeah. All of a sudden, we need some ninjas.
Number 3. Worked for the Edo shogunate. Once the Civil War era ended, and Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu started the Edo period, certain clans of ninjas were allowed to live in the castle town of Edo, which is current Tokyo. This is because, during the Civil War era, the ninjas achieved trust through protecting Tokugawa Ieyasu through many crises. The ninjas guarded the castle and the daimyo's residence during their absence, and observed the movements of other samurai clans. During the peaceful Edo period, the ninjas' main tasks changed from fighting in battle to collecting information and protecting the government.
Basically, the world's first CIA agents, basically. So they go from rebels to war mercenaries to hired guards to spies. So they say ninjas are spies. That's just one layer on top of a bunch of layers to what makes a ninja.
Number 4. After Westernization. When the administration was transferred from the Edo shogunate to the Meiji government, the Japanese army, navy, and police were established, and the role of the ninjas came to an end. Some took new jobs as a member of the army or police to utilize their skills, or something completely unrelated due to the freedom of choosing jobs in the Meiji era. Meaning the samurais and ninjas both disappeared from Japanese history almost at the same time.
Well, did they really disappear? No, they just got jobs. It's like the Seiyu group disappeared is like a battle where they got destroyed. They literally was like, well, don't need to do this anymore. All right, let's go get an application. That's pretty much what happened from this perspective.
Number 5. Ninjas as a virtual image. Although the ninjas disappeared, they were beginning to be portrayed in stage art and paintings from the end of the Edo period. In order to entertain the people who saw those works, the ninjas in these stories and pictures were depicted as people who use magical skills to hide and steal goods from enemy hideouts. It's like the detectives in Detective Conan are expressed as an extremely cool job to entertain us. This culture leads to the image of ninjas today in manga and anime.
And so when you think about it, the ninjas didn't die. They just got different jobs and just kept on going. So that means that there's a bunch of descendants of ninjas walking around because they didn't die out, you know? So when you think about it, manga and anime, in a sense, in a roundabout way, the ninjas in these mediums are being brought to us by the descendants of ninjas. Or these people who are connected to them, which is pretty cool when you think about it.
Then finally, let's talk about today's main topic. What are the differences between ninja and shinobi? To make a long story short, they were used in different regions and ages. But we are not talking about just these two names. There are actually many different ways to refer to a ninja. Let me give you just a few examples of different ways ninjas were called in the past by age and region. Asuka era, Shinobi. Nara era, Ukami. Civil War era, Kanja, Rappa.
Wait, hold up. So Shinobi honestly came first. So would that make that the most correct term, or does it just not matter? I would say it does not matter, but Ukami, okay, and Rappa, Kanjia.
Edo era, Onmitsu.
Onmitsu.
era, Ninjutsu, Ninsha. Kyoto and Nara Prefecture, Suppa, Ukami, Dakko. Yamanashi Prefecture, Suppa, 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 Mitsunomono.
I was thinking the same thing. I love the fact that you made that joke. It's like, see, this is what frustrates me with studying Japanese as a language, man. All these different kanji, they just why do we have 3 different kanji setups that ultimately just mean the exact same thing? It's so frustrating. This is why there's so many kanji out there. I'm just speaking from the perspective of a student. I'm just frustrated.
Niigata and Toyama Prefecture, Nokisaru, Kanshi, Kikimonoyaku. Miyagi Prefecture, Kurohabaki. Aomori Prefecture, Hayamichi no Mono, Shinobi. Kanagawa Prefecture, Kusa, Monomi, Rappa. Fukui Prefecture, Shinobi. Depending on the era and region.
But wait, we don't actually, we heard the one ninja, but we don't hear ninja. None of those ninja wasn't in none of that. So where does ninja come from then?
The ninjas were named by their jobs and how they looked. So their jobs and skill sets were different too. And as you can see, the phrase shinobi has existed from ancient times and has been used in multiple regions, using different kanji characters to express it. However, for the phrase ninja, some theories even say that it was finally spread among Japanese people around the 1950s. So you can say that the modern era calls the ninjas ninjas.
So, what we call ninjas is literally the only time they've ever been called ninjas. Traditionalist shinobi, and everything else in between will work. Including the 3 ways of calling them the exact same thing. Suppa. Oh wow, that one was the funniest one. And the most frustrating to look at. It's like, am I gonna look at that in one of my textbooks eventually? Oh god.
Calls the ninjas ninjas. One quick piece of info. Let me briefly introduce the kunoichi, the woman ninjas. Out of the many skills of the ninjas, there were techniques to deceive opponents using people, which were mainly used by ninjas who performed spy activities. Some of these spy activities were performed by women, just like honey traps. So the kunoichis specialized in these techniques. So they were not like the women ninjas fighting together with the other ninjas, with their skills of martial arts and weapons. I'm sorry, Sakura.
Oh, why do you have to make that joke? That's so cold. That's cold. Oh man.
No one knows for sure when the kunoichis were born, but it is believed that the skills of the ninjas were completed in the Civil War era, and warlords hired many spies. One of the
that would make sense. Ninja skills completed Civil War era because they're developing their skills in their rebel era. Is what I like. What I'm gonna call it. And so we get the Civil War era. Now they have to perfect those skills because now they're not just fighting the little sneak. I mean, they're still doing sneak attacks. They're ninja and everything, but they're not just fighting, this area, that area, and everything, just being rebels. Now they're actually in war, actual war, which is a whole different ball game. So they definitely had to perfect those skills and maybe even develop some new stuff. So makes sense.
Famous warlords of the Civil War era, called Takeda Shingen, is known to have formed a group of kunoichi. Then lastly, today's conclusion. Historical evidence shows the existence of ninjas from after the Muromachi era. There was a group of people who developed tactics, such as surprise attacks and arson, to fight with the manorial system. Their skills were eventually recognized by warlords, leading them to be hired as mercenaries. The group of ninjas that fought for Tokugawa Ieyasu, the founder of the Edo shogunate, were allowed to live in the castle town to work as guardians and spies. After westernization, the new army, navy, and police took over the ninjas' roles. They disappeared from Japanese history together.
They didn't disappear? What does that mean? They took over their roles. They literally got new jobs. They didn't disappear?
With the samurais. However, the ninjas began to be portrayed in stage art and paintings as virtual images. This leads to the image of ninjas you see in anime and manga today. Ninja and shinobi were phrases used in different eras and regions of Japan. There were actually a lot of ways of calling ninjas by their jobs and how they look. Shinobi was used from ancient times using different kanji characters, while ninja is a word that has been used commonly quite recently. Kunoichi are woman ninjas who specialized in spy activities and are said to have existed since the Civil War era. So kunoichi were not like the women ninjas fighting with martial arts and weapons like you see in anime and manga.
Sorry, Sakura.
So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you learned anything new about the ninjas through this video, please hit the like button to let me know. And my goal is to achieve 100,000 subscribers by January 2022, so your help will mean a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's
Thanks
really
again,
old.
and I'll see you in my next video. どうもありがとうございました。Everyone, once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and welcome to the Omake Talk. Usually in this Omake Talk, I try to talk about something that's educational and helpful for you, but today, because I can't talk too much about ninjas, I do want to talk a little bit about Naruto, my love towards Naruto. Okay. In the beginning, before the video started, the main part started, I did the scene of Itachi and Sasuke. It's definitely one of my favorite scenes, but my top favorite is actually not that one. My top favorite is actually the scene in the movie Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. I really love the scene where, Momoshiki, the enemy, the villain dude, when he kind of warps everyone to this area and he fights with Boruto and Naruto. Naruto was probably caught there and was about to get Kyuubi, kind of sucked out of him. Sasuke and Boruto comes to help him, and then Naruto and Sasuke fights together to battle with Momoshiki, and that scene I love so much, where Sasuke says, "Marude mukashi no jibun wo miteru you da," and Naruto says, "Ichou shiteru ka, Sasuke?" That scene, I think if you've heard it in Japanese before, I think you know that scene. But if you're a person like me who have read from the very first book to the very last of Naruto, all that difficult, relationship between Naruto and Sasuke and all that battles they went through, all the hard times, they couldn't get along. And, after many years and all that hard battles, they can finally fight together. They're like best friends. Their combination are great. It's so exciting. I just literally love that scene so much.
Okay.
So this manga talk was just me talking about my love towards Naruto.
Okay. Hey, let him talk about his love for Naruto, man. He done taught us a lot here. So, the difference between ninja and shinobi. That was a lot of info there, but the short answer is ninja is what we've called them for the past 50, 60 years. Their original name is shinobi. And there's a bunch of names in between, and one that repeats itself in a very odd manner. Alright, so great to know. But that's it for this one, so y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section, let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go, share this video with everyone you know, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alright, so, till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'm out of here.